Doubles and coffee. Faris. This is Douglas being quiet. The silence says a lot. And Faris Al-Rawi, how does it feel now that the truth is closing in upon you like a cloud in a sandstorm in the Sahara Desert? And Faris, Ravinanga, you can't say Faris. Rajkumar, you can't say Faris. Why are you all calling meetings of board members to guide them? Did they ask you? Board members, let me talk to all you. Don't let them PNM guide all you with this CEPEP thing, because the police are coming knocking, and the police will come hard, because never before seen has a minister and a chairman be so intricately involved in perpetrating and perpetuating a fraud upon board members, who then went on to approve the expenditure of $1.4 billion of taxpayers' money under fraudulent instruction. Freedom Law Chambers had sent out pre-action protocol letters to the board members, because as I asked you all, I told you all, board members, all you go have to talk the truth. Why did you wrong, Robin? What was the board note? Why the board note? I said specifically, cabinet had agreed. Keith Eddy said, Mr. Joel Edwards, that you instructed him when he was afraid, when he was fearful, when he did not want to move. You instructed him, that you had spoken to the line minister, and the line minister had assured you that the cabinet had approved, and so on. But then, Joel Edwards, you made up some story that made no logical sense about it was an error. But if it was an error, how the corporate secretary did up a whole board note stating that cabinet had agreed to extend all contractors of CEPEP up till 2029, even though some of them still had up to 18 months on their existing contract so to go. You, Joel Edwards, said that it was an error. Well, the Freedom Law Chambers, Anand Ram Logan, Keith Eddy, they say, well, show us where on the group chat, on a message, on a note, on an email, on a call, show a letter, a memo where you said it was an error. Well, I told you Freedom Law not going to play, so every single board member got a pre-action protocol letter, and the first response is in from a board member, PNM board member called Camille Hussein. Faris Al-Rawi don't wear no tight pants for the next 6 months, because boy, when you boomsy crap in a tight pants, so it go rip. Faris Al-Rawi, listen to the silent Douglas. Camille Hussein, and I've read this letter, appears to be a truthful human being, just talking truth after truth. Let me read it for all of you citizens and understand what the key issue is. Was the board misled by someone or some group of people into believing that cabinet had specifically approved the extension of all contracts at CEPEP for a full further 3-year period, an expenditure up to $1.4 billion? That's the issue. Not whether they had some new contractors or they added new contractors and cabinet. Not that. And why was that done? Where was the cabinet note? Did the cabinet meet? Stuart Young has said nothing. Faris Al-Rawi is talking a set of nonsense about 2017. Colmember told him to say that. Did the cabinet meet? Did the cabinet agree? Did the cabinet approve? Did the cabinet confirm? Where's the cabinet note? There's none. None attached to the board note. So, you had Keith Eddy, the PNM CEO, who's saying, hey, I was instructed by the chairman that the minister told him that the cabinet had discussed and agreed. He then told Gopal Singh, the corporate secretary, and she did up the board note. All board members, while the election was in heat, until even the election day itself, were being round robin. Now, this is very interesting also. They had a full in-house board meeting the day before, chaired by Mr. Joel Edwards. And Mr. Joel Edwards never told the board in their full regular meeting A, Cabinet approved the expenditure and extension of all contractors up to 3 years, up to 2029, an expenditure of 1.4 billion. What say y'all? Do y'all approve? How come, Mr. Edwards, did you forget that that was an issue that Cabinet had said the major, most serious issue Cabinet could agree upon under your chairmanship of CEPEP? You just forgot. And then the next day at a round robin. Well, let me read from the response to a pre-action protocol letter to all board members. Well, this board member is Miss Camille Hussein. Let me read this for you. And she is represented by Miss Asha Ramlal, right? No, that's Asha Ramlal is Freedom Law Chamber. So this one is represented by a lawyer called Miss Muhammad. Pre-action protocol letter, the former board of directors, right? This is to the matter caption of your pre-action protocol letter, bam, bam, bam. My client admits a WhatsApp group chat was created which included all members of the board, including the chairman, the corporate secretary, and the CEO of CEPEP, for the purposes of ease of communication regarding the business of the board and any other issues that may arise during their tenure. On the 22nd of April, let me pause and drink some coffee, double some coffee. Faris, boy. When you do wickedness, Faris, when you lie, Faris, when you're malicious, Faris, when you're vindictive, Faris, the truth will eventually catch up with you. On the 22nd of April 2025, a reminder was posted on the WhatsApp group chat, as is customary, reminding everyone of the monthly meeting carded for the 23rd of April 2025, 5 days before election at 10 a.m. The directors were asked to physically attend, and those who could not attend were required to notify the corporate secretary and attend virtually. At this point, all of this was standard procedure for all board meetings. My client elected to attend in person, and the said meeting concluded at approximately 12 p.m., that's noon. A copy of this notice is there. On the 23rd of April, the day after that meeting, 2025, at 1:22 p.m., very specific, a WhatsApp message was received on their group chat after the formal board meeting from the chairman of the board, Mr. Joel Edwards. You go ahead. Let me tell you, tutu in a bucket in Golden Grove is not a nice thing. Eh? You better practice at home because you might stay cork when you go up there. Anyway, the former chairman of the meeting, Mr. Joel Edwards, indicating that he neglected to mention at the meeting that pursuant to cabinet approval, the board was being asked to extend all contracts that would have ended in 2025 and or 2026 for a further 3 years. He further informed the board that the CEO, Mr. Eddy, will provide a note for circulation regarding same. My client found it strange that this important matter was not raised at the formal board meeting the day before, but decided to wait until she saw the board note before making any inquiries. It is, however, not uncommon for issues to be raised with this board in the matter, meaning round robin. Pursuant to the chairman's message, board note BN 0125 was received by my client on the same day at approximately 3:35 p.m. Upon receiving the email, she checked the document to ensure that the contents of the board note were the same as the chairman stated on their WhatsApp group chat. She noted that the board note was bare in that there was no document reflecting the cabinet decision she was being asked to ratify and implement. My client called the chairman to inquire about the cabinet minute evidencing the approval for CEPEP to extend all of its contracts. Remember I told you, I asked you in my previous video, but if Corporate Secretary Gopal Singh How could you do a board note without the cabinet minute, the pink sheet? Cabinet notes are white, they go, if they go FNGP, they turn blue, they come back to cabinet, they approved, and then the week after, you get a little pink sheet, a one sheet, a tin sheet, tin paper, pink. And that's then confirmed. That goes to all the relevant authorities to show that cabinet has agreed. And I asked, but where the cabinet minute was? Well, this board member is saying, but she was shocked. She then called the chairman, Mr. Edwards. And Mr. Edwards says Camille Hussein, PNM board member, Mr. Edwards indicated that he was advised by Line Minister Faris Al-Rawi that cabinet had only recently made this decision and hence the cabinet minute was not available. He said he was certain that the information was correct because the minister was very clear on the matter. Cabinet Secretariat, police will be coming to ask you all too, was there a cabinet note there on the Thursday before this Friday meeting in April, mid-April to the 20th of April? Where's the cabinet note? What was the cabinet note? Was it on the agenda? Stuart Smallpin-Young, as selected Prime Minister, the police are coming to ask you, because this is the second witness that said that Mr. Edwards told them and confirmed that Line Minister Faris Al-Rawi said that cabinet had agreed and the minute would be forthcoming. So this is now not just he say, she say. This is two people against Mr. Joel Edwards. You have about 8 more people coming. My client in good faith relied on this assurance given by the chairman. She had no reason to doubt that it was true and correct because the source of the information was, according to Mr. Edwards, the line minister, Mr. Al-Rawi himself. Given that he was a member of the cabinet, he would obviously be privy to the cabinet decision, and hence my client was satisfied that the information was credible. She therefore discharged her fiduciary duty by making the relevant inquiries that would be expected of a reasonable and prudent director. It was only after she was given the assurance that the cabinet had in fact recently made a decision that to CEPEP to extend all contracts that she decided to support the board note. In keeping with her fiduciary duty, she assented to the decision at 7:47 a.m. A true copy of the email is here. With respect to communication between chairman, she don't know about that. My client agrees that the proceeds ratify the board decision under understanding that the cabinet decision agrees the only recently given approval on the basis that she was simply ratifying and implementing a recent cabinet decision. This is the only reason she said, hey, yes, I approve, because of the fraud perpetrated on her. Because the PNM is talking about a 2017 cabinet note. There was no cabinet note. There was no cabinet meeting. There was no cabinet approval. There was no cabinet nothing. Keith Eddy said that. Joel Edwards, I tell you, you go and talk to lawyers who defending Faris and see every single human being, from all the board members, to Keith Eddy, to Joel Edwards, to Gopal Singh, to Sadiq Hussein, to Faris Al-Rawi, to Stuart Young, to Vishnu Danpal, and any others in between. Get your own lawyer. Pay your own lawyer who will defend you, you know. Because if you take a lawyer who real client is somebody else, Golden Grove waiting, Faris is waiting to hear you. Look, the silent Douglas talking to you. Come out and talk, Faris. Put on a tight pants. Call a press conference. Ignore Penny. And come to say that Miss Camille Hussein, board member, lied. And all the other board members will respond also. And any reasonable person will know that the truth is the truth is the truth. Faris, you better go in the pharmacy and buy some Vaseline, boy. And Faris, you disgusting human being. Hey, let me be silent. Bless.